Hello and welcome to a yoga session. My name is Eli here at Tarrant County College. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. We will begin laying down on our backs. And if you're unable to lay on your back because of pregnancy, feel free to do some cat-cow postures or some quadruped-like postures, or maybe even some sunflower circles. For those of us that are able to lay on our backs, knees are bent, hands are resting by our sides, activated bridge. Breathing in through the nose to raise the arms up and overhead, breathing out through the nose to lift the butt and drop the hands. One breath, one movement, body and mind working together, breath and movement matching. Activated bridge. Allowing our muscles to move with our minds, our breath and our movement to match. Some of us might be able to lift our hips higher than others. Go to your personal range of motion that is safe for your body. We're resting our hands by our sides, keeping our buttocks lifted and breathing. Isometric contraction. Rest the buttocks back down. Right ankle to left thigh. Or right knee crossed on top. Eagle crunches. We're having a 90-degree fold to our left elbow joint. Right arm goes underneath. Either backs of the hands together, maybe palms together. Eagle crunches. Breathing out as we curl on up. Lifting our head and our shoulders. Breathe into lower back down. To make it even more challenging, as you curl your head and your shoulders off of the mat, raise your bottom leg off of the mat as well. Blowing out through the mouth, visualizing our abdominal core getting stronger with each breath so that we can have a better place to extend from and a better place to return to in our yoga practice. Let's release down, uncross our legs, 90-degree fold at our right elbow joint, left leg over the right, left arm underneath the right arm, either backs of the hands together or palms together, and continue our eagle crunches on this side. Potentially raising the bottom foot off of the mat. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. We rest our head down, rest our feet down, unwrapping our arms. Rolling over to one side. Drawing our circle. Bottom arm serves as our pillow. Top hand, if it can, rest to the floor, creating a somewhat of a full circle up above our head and around towards our buttocks, and then retracing this circle. If we're unable to keep our finger to the floor, creating this circle, that's okay. It's okay if our hand comes off of the earth. One breath. One movement, body and mind working together, breath and movement matching. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Let's complete this particular circle. Once we have, we roll over to the other side. Fetal position. Bottom arm serves as our pillow. Breathe in. We draw our circle with our top hand. Breathe out as we retrace our circle to our starting position. Completing this particular circle. Once we have, we return to our backs. Crab walk, raise one foot to the sky, maybe opposite arm up and overhead, and switch over to the other side. We can rest our legs down flat with straightened knees or bent, drawing soles of the feet to the mat. Find a place where you feel challenged yet successful. Or letting go of thoughts of the past. Or letting go of thoughts of the future. Finding ourselves in this present breath, in this present moment. Releasing our feet back down to our mats. We roll over to one side and gently press ourselves up to our seated position, wrapping our feet around towards the backs of our mats. Child's pose extended. Little muscle memory of a place we can return to if our bodies need a break. Finding ourselves into our downward facing dog, curling those toes under, lifting those knees off of the mat. It's okay to substitute child's pose extended for downward facing dog as we walk our dog at any point during our session. Resting our knees to our mat. Cat-cow. And if you'd rather stand for a standing cat-cow, feel free to do so. Breathing out, we round into our cat. Breathing in, we arch into our cow. Your pace might be faster, it might be slower than mine, and that's okay. It's okay to substitute a fist for a wrist in any yoga posture with the exception of downward facing dog. Preparing for spinal balance, neutral spine, head in line with our tailbone. Let's send one leg behind us, potentially opposite arm forward as we breathe in. Breathe out, rest hand and knee. Then switch over to the other side. Option to only raise the leg or to only raise the arm, alternating sides. One breath, one movement. Body and mind working together. Breath and movement matching. We're releasing, hands and knees down, sitting back, child's pose extended. Upper body flow, we breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out when we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, dropping the hips, rolling upward facing dog. Breathe out, back to down dog, or child's pose extended. Breathing into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Better knees to hit the mat than chest or belly. Breathe in, lengthen upward facing dog. Breathe out, maybe add your extra push-up. Back to your down dog or your child's pose. Breathing into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose. We step our right foot forward, somewhat in between our hands. Curling our left toes under. As we breathe out, raise our left knee onto the mat. Breathe in to lower back down. You choose if the knee actually hits the mat or not. Hands can stay to either side of your right foot, or hands can go up to your thigh. Maybe biceps by ears if balance allows. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. We release our hands down, we step back, child's pose extended or downward facing dog. Now stepping our other foot forward in between our hands, curling our back toes under. Breathe out, activated runner's lunge. Breathe in to lower back down. Hands can stay to the floor or to blocks on either side of our left foot. Maybe hands go to our thigh, possibly biceps by ears. Releasing our hands down, we step back, down dog, or child's pose extended. We walk, hop, or jump, feet forward, forward fold. Softening of our knees, the beginning and the ending of our sun salutations. Let's breathe and lengthen our arms up and overhead, extended mountain. Breathe out, we swan dive, hinge from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, looking forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, relax through head and neck. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathe out, sinking into our chair. If going up and down is too much for the body, you can stick with an activated chair. Breathe and lengthen up, extended mountain. Breathe out, potentially swan dive forward, forward fold. Breathe in, gazing forward, monkey. Breathe out, relax through head and neck. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. I have my feet about hip distance apart. You're welcome to have your feet connected if that's more comfortable for your body. Moving at your own perfect pace for activated chair, or following me with the beginning and the ending of only our sun salutation at this point. Let's continue with an activated chair. Breathing in, extended mountain. Breathing out as we sink into our chair. The next time we breathe in, keep both arms lengthened up and overhead. Breathe out, drop one arm down and laterally flex to the side. Activated standing lateral flexion. Breathe and lengthen the other arm up. Breathe out as we sink over to the other side. Continuing to alternate. One side might be more flexible than the other. Accepting our bodies for where we are in this present breath, in this present moment. The next time we breathe in, both arms elevate up and overhead. Breathing out, we release hands to heart center. Sun salutations. We'll start off with our left leg today. We breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead, extended mountain. Breathe out, we're swan diving, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we're gazing forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. You decide, mindful of right knee placement over ankle for knee safety. Breathe in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back. Down dog or child's pose extended, maybe right leg kicks up to a three-legged down dog. Let's breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out when we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, dropping the hips, rolling up dog, lengthening ears from shoulders. Breathe out, maybe add your extra push-up. Back to your down dog or your child's pose extended. We step our left foot forward. Right knee to the mat or not, you decide. Breathing in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, let's reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose, right side. Breathe in, we lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out when we swan dive, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we're gazing forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose, maybe left leg kicks up to a three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, drop the hips, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose. We're stepping our right foot forward. Left knee to the mat or not, you decide. Breathing in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose, left side. Breathe in, we lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathe out, swan diving forward, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey pose. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge is what I'll demonstrate. Breathe in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose extended, maybe right leg kicks up. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank, right leg could remain lifted. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose. We step our left foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, let's reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose, right side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathe out, we're swan diving, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey. Breathe out, we step our right foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back, down dog or child's pose, maybe left leg kicks up to our three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat, roll up dog. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose. We're stepping our right foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose, left side. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, swan diving, hinging from our hips into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey. Breathe out, we step our left foot back, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe in, lengthening, heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back. Down dog or child's pose, maybe right leg kicks up to our three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, chaturanga, better knees to hit the mat than chest or belly. Breathe in, both feet to the mat. Roll up, dog, tops of the feet to the mat. Breathe out, back to down dog or child's pose. We step our left foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in, reverse our swan. Breathe out, chair pose. Right side, last sun salutation. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, swan diving into our forward fold. Breathe in, we gaze forward, monkey. Breathe out, let's step our right foot back. Kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathing in, lengthening heart center sky. Breathe out, release our hands as we step back. Down dog or child's pose, maybe left leg kicks up to a three-legged down dog. We breathe into our plank or our modified plank. Breathe out, we lower down, chaturanga. Breathe in, both feet to the mat, roll up dog. Blow out, back to down dog or child's pose. We're stepping our right foot forward. Breathing in, kneeling warrior or crescent lunge. Breathe out, release our hands as we step forward, forward fold. Breathe in as we reverse our swan. Breathing out, chair pose. Breathe in, lengthen back up, extended mountain. Breathing out, releasing hands and energy to our heart center. Let's step one foot back so we're in a wide sunflower stance. Opening our heels out so the sides of our feet are parallel with the front and backs of our mats. Breathe in, lengthen arms to the sky. Breathe out, hinge from our hips. Hands can rest to blocks, textbooks, or floor. If we'd like to go with a wider stance for more of a straddle splits position, to drop elbows and forearms down to either the mat, the blocks, or those textbooks, go for it. And hang out here and breathe. Let's place our hands directly below our shoulders, placing our right hand underneath our face, left hand to our low back, twisting towards the back of our mat, and breathing. If we'd like to go deeper into this rotation of our spine, we can send our eye gaze over our left shoulder, maybe straightening through our left elbow joint, maybe eye gaze up towards our left hand. Always breathing. We return to center. We switch out to the other side, right hand to our low back, left hand underneath our face, looking towards the front of our mat. Maybe eye gaze over our left shoulder, maybe straightening through the left elbow joint, reaching our left fingertips to the sky. We return to center. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Let's shimmy our heels in for that sunflower position. Soften those knees. Use the strength of our legs to assist us with our core to circle sweep our arms up and overhead, releasing hands and energy to our heart center. Let's turn our left toes towards the backs of our mats, pressing our right heel slightly towards the front of our mat. Elevating our arms for our warrior two arms, adding our warrior two legs, folding into our left knee joints, sink into low body, expand back with our upper body. Eye gaze potentially towards our left fingers. It's okay to gaze towards the side of your mat. Always breathe. Pressing through the outside of our right foot, strengthening through our left quadriceps as we get a nice stretch for our right inner thigh. Engaging through our core. Reverse warrior.
Left palm to the sky, maintaining a fold in our left knee joint. Drop our right hand towards our right leg. We expand from our waist through our rib cage and our chest. Let's return to our warrior two arms. Let's straighten through our left knee joint, preparing for our triangle pose. Breathe in, lean towards the back of our mat, booty towards the front of our mat. Breathe out, drop this left hand to knee, shin, ankle, block, textbook, foot, or floor. Press those hips forward, lengthen up through the tips of our right fingers, maybe eye gaze towards our right hand. Always breathing, imagining that our bodies are in between two window frames. Carefully, or two window panes, carefully not touching the glass in front or behind us. Let's release. Top hand down, pyramid pose, stepping our right foot slightly inward to shorten the gap in between our 2 feet. Attempting to straighten through our left knee joint, we can shift our hips forward and back, and hands again can be onto textbooks or blocks. As we breathe. Preparing for one-legged standing straddle splits. You could stay here in your pyramid with chest expansion arms or upside down prayer pose arms as options. One-legged standing straddle splits, I fold through my left knee joint, walk my fingertips towards the back of my mat, raising my right foot as high to the ceiling as possible, attempting to bring my head as close to my left leg as possible. Maybe taking one hand to my left ankle to assist me in drawing my head towards my leg. If balance allows, both hands to this left ankle. And breathing. Pointing my right toes as high to the ceiling as possible in my one-legged standing straddle splits. Breath. Continuation. We carefully release fingers and toes. We walk our hands towards the center of our mats, adjusting our feet to our wide sunflower feet. Using the power of our legs, soften those knees and circle sweep our arms to the sky. Releasing hands and energy to our heart center. Preparing to complete that series on the other side, turning our right toes to face the front of our mat, pressing our left heel slightly towards the back of the mat, opening our arms to our warrior two arms, folding our right knee joint for our warrior two legs, maybe sending our eye gaze towards our right hand. Sink into low body, expanding back with our upper body. Imagining two friends tugging onto each hand equally as we lengthen and breathe. Realizing anytime we need to take a break, it's okay to rest in down dog or child's pose extended. We listen to our bodies. We breathe and we feel. Twisting right palm to the sky, dropping left hand towards left leg, maintaining a fold in our right knee joint for our reverse warrior as we expand from our waist, through our rib cage and our chest. Today, I allow my breath, wrong day. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. We return to our warrior two legs and our warrior two arms, sending positive healing exhalations to our right quadriceps or any area of our body where we currently feel sensation. We straighten through this right knee joint, triangle pose. Breathe in, lean towards the front of our mat, booty towards the back of our mat. Breathe out, drop our right hand to knee, shin, block, textbook, ankle, foot, or floor. Automatically press those hips forward, lengthening up through the tips of our left fingers, maybe eye gaze towards our left hand, promoting a balance for our neck muscles based on the eye gaze from our previous triangle pose position. We carefully release. Pyramid pose, stepping our left foot slightly inward, shortening the gap in between our feet. Attempting to straighten through our right knee joint, potentially shifting our hips forward and back. Always breathe.
Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Possibly stay here if you'd like to join me for one-legged standing straddle splits. You have that option, chest expansion, arms, or upside down prayer pose if you stay in your pyramid. Walking fingertips forward for standing straddle splits. Raising the left foot as high to the sky as possible, drawing our head as close to our right leg as possible. Maybe one hand to our right ankle, possibly both. Reminding ourselves that sometimes it's easier to balance on one side over another. With continued practice, we can find ourselves centered. It's the journey that matters, not the final destination. We carefully release fingers and toes, walking our hands back towards the center of our mats, adjusting our feet to our sunflower feet. Softening our knees, using the power of our legs, we breathe in, circle sweep our arms to the sky. Breathing out, we release hands and energy to our heart center. Bringing ourselves to a closer stance with our feet. Preparing for an eagle standing balance pose. You have a couple of options with your legs. First option is a tree pose for the right leg. Or, actually we're going to get the arms going. We'll do the right leg first. Let's get the arms going first. So left elbow, 90-degree fold. Right arm goes underneath, either backs of the hands together or palms together. Now if this hurts your shoulders, let go of the arms and just do the legs. Now it's the right leg going into that tree pose option. However, if you'd like to raise that right foot up and cross it over the left leg and fold into the left knee joint for the eagle pose, you go for it. My right foot isn't able to go behind my left ankle, but some people are able to do that. If you'd like a little more sensation, slightly, just slightly, listen to your body though, lift those elbows ever so slightly up. For me, my hands have almost become see-through. I can still see them, but because they're so close to my face, they almost become invisible yet see-through. And let's safely unwrap. And let's move over to the other side, 90-degree fold for the right elbow joint. Left arm underneath, either backs of the hands together or palms together if possible. Left leg can go into our tree pose, or wrap that left foot around the right, folding through the right knee joint, and breathing. Maybe slightly elevating those elbows if that's okay for our shoulder girdle. And we unwrap. Standing mountain pose. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Let's breathe in, lengthen our arms up and overhead. Breathe out, we swan dive forward. Preparing for a pigeon pose from a down dog. However, if you have knee issues, we've accomplished modified pigeon pose on our back several times, so you're welcome to drop down onto your back for a modified pigeon pose. Breathe in, we're gazing forward looking. Breathe out, we walk, hop, or jump, feet back, downward facing dog if we're selecting our regular pigeon for today's session. You choose the leg. I'm going to go with my right leg, three-legged down dog, folding deeply through my right knee joint. And breathe in, sweep this knee up towards my chest. Breathe out, drop my right foot over to the left side of the mat, resting onto my left me. We can stay here. We can release elbows and forearms to our mat. We breathe. If we like our screaming pigeon option, hands back underneath our shoulders, folding through the left knee joint, sending a hand or both hands towards the left foot. Maybe the right arm reaches up and over if you have that flexibility available to you. We carefully release and step ourselves back. Downward facing dog. Moving to the other side, left knee, three-legged down dog. Deeply folding through this left knee joint. Sweeping this left leg up towards our face, resting our left foot over the right side of our mat, dropping onto our right leg, avoid falling onto your left butt cheek. Maybe surrendering elbows and forearms to our mat. Sometimes screaming pigeon is acceptable on one side and unacceptable on the other, so listening to our bodies. If you'd like to move into that screaming pigeon, hands underneath shoulders again, folding through the right knee joint, sending a hand or both hands to this right foot, drawing this right heel towards our booty. Let's carefully release. Stepping back, downward facing dog. Repeating our pigeon, but having the opportunity for a standing pigeon if we so desire. If you'd like to join me for standing pigeon, walk, hop, or jump, feet forward, forward fold. Using the power of our legs, we breathe in, circle, sweep our arms to the sky. Breathing out, releasing hands and energy to our heart center. Finding ourselves in a gentle chair pose, and you can stand closer to a wall if you need the assistance for balance if you're attempting the standing pigeon. Let's place our right ankle onto our left thigh from this gentle bend of the knees, gentle chair. Hinge from the hips, folding at the hip joint. Hands can rest down to your textbooks, your blocks, or the floor. You can experiment by straightening and folding through the left knee joint to determine what experience creates more sensation for that right booty, that right piriformis. If balance allows, maybe send your hands behind your backs into a chest expansion. Always breathe. Carefully releasing ourselves, returning to a standing position for those of you attempting the standing pigeon. Both feet resting to the floor. Fold those knees back to your gentle chair. Moving to the other side for our pigeon. Left ankle to right thigh. And hinge at the hips, folding through the right knee joint. Hands can rest to textbooks or to the floor. Fold and straighten through the right knee joint to determine a desirable sensation for your right booty. For your left booty, I should say. Possibly return to chest expansion arms if this had been a selection on the first standing pigeon option. I accept my body and my mind completely in this moment, in this breath. We carefully release our hands. We safely return to our standing mountain position. Palms are facing forward. Shoulders are melting away from our ears. The next time we breathe in, let's raise our toes off of the mat.
The next time we breathe out, we spread our toes as wide as possible onto the mat below us. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Let's breathe and lengthen our arms up and overhead. Clasping our hands together, point our fingers to the sky. On our next exhalation, we laterally flex to one side. You can select which side. Maybe sending our eye gaze to the ceiling. Embracing the stillness of our breath. The next time we breathe in, we return upright. The next time we breathe out, we laterally flex to the other side. Creating space with each exhalation, potentially sinking 1/10 of a millimeter deeper into our stretch. The next time we breathe in, we return to center. We breathe out, we release hands and energy to our heart center. Finding ourselves getting a little bit closer to the earth. We breathe in, lengthen arms up and overhead. Breathe out, we swan dive forward. Hinge from our hips, hands can rest at thighs, knees, shins, ankles, feet, blocks, textbooks, or floor. We walk, hop, or jump feet back, downward facing dog. Resting our knees to the mat, if we're able to be in a quadruped position. Spinal balance, send one leg behind us, possibly the opposite arm forward. We're going to hold here instead of making it activated. Possibly open our foot slightly to the side and maybe our arm out to the side into a diagonal line. We breathe. Let's release this hand and knee down. We switch to the other side, extending one leg, potentially the opposite arm. And anytime, let's go to our diagonal, we're performing something that your body cannot handle. It's okay to return to a previous pose or a preferred pose that works for your body. Let's return to center. A brief return to cat-cow, and it's okay to perform this in a standing position. Breathing out, we round into our beautiful cat. Breathe in, arching into our cow. This pace may be faster, it might be slower than what you performed near the beginning of our session. Our word of the day, eagle. E as in elephant, A as in apple, G as in giraffe, L as in lion, E as in elephant. Eagle is our word of the day. E as in elephant, A as in apple, G as in giraffe, L as in lion, E as in elephant. Finding ourselves sitting back, child's pose, extended, modified, or regular. Knot pose, sending one hand underneath the other armpit, palm faces the sky, crisscrossing those arms. We can stay here in our child's pose extended. If you do not have shoulder issues, it's okay to lay on your belly with this crisscross KNOT knot position. Let's switch the cross of our arms to promote a balance for our shoulders. Palms facing the sky. This side might be more tender.
It might be more accepting. Listen to your body. Continue to send positive, healing exhalations to whichever area of your body is asking for some special attention. Uncrossing our arms. We can lay flat on our bellies on our mats if our bodies are willing and able. Otherwise, selecting an option that's best for our body. Hands nice and wide down by our shoulders. I have my feet about a shoulder's width apart from each other. You can have your feet closer in or wider apart. Gentle cobra, raising the face off of the mat. Elbows and forearms stay connected to the mat. No pressure into the elbows or the forearms. Opening up through the chest, drawing those shoulder blades towards each other. We could stay here in our gentle cobra. If you'd like a little bit more work for the low back, apply pressure into those hands. Raise your elbows off of the mat into an up dog-like feel. And breathe. We release. Back down. Sideline dancer pose. Roll over to one side, folding the knee joint of our top leg, drawing this heel towards our buttocks, and breathing. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. We release. Transition to the other side. Reminding ourselves to breathe out as much as we breathe in. We release. Finding ourselves, if we can, laying on our backs. Preparing for a rotation of our spine. Drawing one knee in towards our chest, straightening our other leg forward. We are going to press this knee away from our body, sending our eye gaze away from that knee as well. The leg that's straight, if we dorsiflex the foot and pull those toes towards our face, we might experience more sensation here in the low back. If you have back issues, you may not want to go as extreme as my rotation. If you are pregnant, you would want to limit your rotation of the spine as well. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. We return to center. We switch over to the other side, folding our other knee into our chest. If we can, pressing this leg to the opposite side, maybe eye gaze away from this leg, potentially dorsiflexing our ankle joint of the straightened leg, and we're breathing. Promoting rotation for our spine to guide us in our digestive tract. Let's carefully return to center. Bridge pose as we started class today. Knees are bent this time, keeping it in a static hold, lifting our hips off of our mat. Maybe chest expansion with those arms, with those hands, interlacing our hands underneath our buttocks. It's okay if you don't want to interlace your hands. If you'd like to move into an inversion, a plow, or a shoulder stand, you may otherwise stay here in your bridge, reminding ourselves there's reasons to not perform an inversion: high blood pressure, menstrual cycle, respiratory issues, sinus infection, headache, high blood pressure, I think I said that, pregnancy. Otherwise, raise your feet up to the height of your knees if you'd like to join me for an inversion. You can use your hands to support your low back. A plow would attempt to send your feet behind your head, and the feet may or may not hit the floor behind you. A shoulder stand would send your knees above your face. Your feet are still up towards the ceiling, but over your head as well. So either one is considered in the yoga philosophy to be a cleansing of the internal organs. If you did have sinus issues, you could understand why you wouldn't want all of that blood rushing towards your face, or away from your feet, or away from your extremities. Breath continuation. For those of us that are in an inversion, it's nicer to have bent knees to return the tailbone to the floor for the low back, or you can challenge yourself with straight legs. Either way, we're resting our feet down and our buttocks down for everybody. Fish pose, hands go underneath the buttocks. You can have straight legs flat to the mat, butterfly legs, soles of the feet to the mat. Whatever you choose for your legs, we're lifting up onto our elbows and our forearms for our fish. Open up through the chest, puff your chest to the sky, and drop your head back. The head can rest onto a block. Some people, it may be difficult to get your head to rest to the floor, so that textbook or that block or a pillow could be nice and comfortable right now. The whole spine is lifted off of the mat, and our fish pose is our counter to our inversion. And even if you were not in an inversion, it's okay to perform the fish pose here. Finding a place where we can breathe in and breathe out. Let's carefully release from our fish pose, resting our back, releasing our hands from our buttocks, and finding ourselves laying on our backs, preparing to move into our final muscle tightening. Let's breathe in, tighten and squeeze every single muscle that we have in our body. Breathe out, soften, release, relax. Again, breathing in, tightening and squeezing, holding on. Breathe out, soften, release, let go. And last time, breathing in, tightening and squeezing, holding on. Breathe out, soften, release, relax. We're allowing our feet to flop open. We're allowing our palms to face the sky. If a thought comes to mind, allow our exhalation to erase it.
your reward, your time for making a conscious effort to honor your body today through breath and movement. Let's gently roll over onto one side. into a fetal position, allowing our bottom arm to serve as our pillow, allowing our knees to fold up to our chest. We can wiggle fingers and toes to help reawaken our body. Today, I am balanced and grounded. Today, I am balanced and grounded. We gently press ourselves up into our seated position, allowing our ear to drop over to one shoulder, lengthening the muscles on the side of our neck. Let's return to center and switch over to the other side. Returning to center. Let's breathe in and lengthen our arms up and over. Breathing out as we release our hands and our energy to our heart center. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. My spirit honors yours.